It is Wednesday, the 1st of January 2025. My name is Pigeon and this is my song of the day. Happy fucking New Year. It's so strange saying 2025 in the intro, because I'm recording this ahead of time, of course, so it's still 2024 for me right now. Spoilers, I'm actually recording this on Christmas Day. Go me. So it's really weird to be recording an episode for the new year, but that's just how it goes. Appropriately enough, today we're talking about a song called New Year's Kiss. That song is by Casiotone for the Painfully Alone. It's on the album Etiquette from 2006. You may recall a few weeks ago we talked about the song I Love Credence, which is also from this album. And I've always liked this song, New Year's Kiss. It's the first song on the album. It's not the first track, because the first track is a person's voice saying you're listening to Etiquette by Casiotone for the Painfully Alone. That's all it is. But this is the first song that actually appears in the album. You know, it's the second track. And I think it's a great start to the album. And it's, of course, a great start to the year, what with it being about New Year's. So let's go ahead and listen to it and then come back in a few minutes and talk about it. Short and simple, like so many of his songs. And when talking about I Love Credence, I mentioned before how his music kind of makes me think of the magnetic fields. And I think this one, more so than I Love Credence, has that feel to it very much. Musically, I mean, and vocally. Not as much lyrically, although I could certainly see this being something that Stephen Merritt wrote. So what's the song about? Well, you'll recall that yesterday we talked about New Year's Day by Taylor Swift. And that was a song about having a New Year's party and having the New Year's kiss and all that, but not wanting it to just seem like a fleeting thing and actually wanting to commit to the person who you're spending this time with and actually committing to the future instead of it just being like a thing that happens on New Year's and then it kind of fades away, you know? This song is about the opposite. This song is about someone waking up on New Year's Day and trying to remember what they did on New Year's Eve because they were drunk and how they wanted to have a perfect New Year's kiss and didn't quite get what they wanted. So let's go ahead and talk about it. Woke up with fingers crossed in a boy's bed with your pants off. After polite declines of coffee and toast, walked home itching in last night's clothes. Past the phone booth in the beauty bar, the broken windows of your neighbor's cars, through the back door to a message from sis asking who is your New Year's kiss. So, woke up with fingers crossed immediately tells you something, because I associate crossed fingers with lying. It's like that old thing of like if you cross your fingers behind your back, you're lying about something. It can also mean like people cross their fingers hoping for something, like to wish luck upon something. So on the one hand, it could be saying that she woke up with her fingers crossed and that's saying like this didn't mean anything, this sex was meaningless to me. It could also mean that she was doing it because she was hoping for something to go well, you know? And those are both very different meanings, but they both very much, I think, apply in different ways to this same narrative, because they woke up with fingers crossed in a boy's bed with their pants off, which tells you that they had sex. After polite declines of coffee and toast, walked home itching in last night's clothes. Just that, you know, wanting to just get out of there after this one night stand, turning down coffee and toast because you just want to get out of there, as nice as it would be, and you're wearing last night's clothes, you haven't showered and you're itchy, you know. Very specific imagery here. Past the phone booth in the beauty bar, the broken windows of your neighbor's cars. That gives you, I love details like this, because these just sound like they're talking about things that exist everywhere, like a phone booth and a beauty bar. But the phone booth and the beauty bar are actually the names of two bars in San Francisco, specifically in Mission District. So this tells you this person is in San Francisco walking past these two bars as they go home. Maybe these were the bars they were at the previous night, you know. The broken windows of your neighbor's cars immediately tells you maybe it's a rough neighborhood. Through the back door to a message from sis asking who is your New Year's kiss. So they go in the back door, I guess not go in the front door and alert people, and they have a message from sis. Could be an affectionate term for a friend, but it's probably referring to their sister, asking who was their New Year's kiss. And so, like, you know, gossiping like, ooh, who was it, you know? And there's a bit of a pause in the music here, which I enjoy, because there's no chorus, it's just 4 verses, but I like that there's a little gap here to kind of give it room to breathe a bit. It is interesting how the first verse is literally the only verse in the whole song that doesn't end with New Year's kiss. I never noticed that before. Anyway, took the afternoon to piece it all, plus a half a dozen phone calls, crashed a party with Larissa and Chris in pursuit of a New Year's kiss. Not the way that you'd imagined it, on a balcony with champagne lips, but in a pantry against the pancake mix, you had your New Year's kiss. So, you know, they sit down, they think about what's happening, they try to remember what's happening last night, took the afternoon to piece it all, plus a half a dozen phone calls, implies that they're like asking around with people they were maybe with the previous night, or even phoning the bars, trying to figure out what the fuck happened last night. So apparently they crashed a party with two people named Larissa and Chris. Fun fact, I put characters in one of the many novels that I never finished as the best friends of the main character called Larissa and Chris in reference to the song. But the thing is that it wasn't a party they were throwing. It wasn't a party that they were going to. They crashed a party. Like, they weren't invited to it, you know? So they went among strangers just because they wanted to hook up with someone. They wanted to have a New Year's kiss. They wanted to have a perfect New Year's kiss on a balcony with champagne lips. Immediately I pictured, I feel like it's in Sin City or something. There's like a scene with people drinking champagne on a balcony with fireworks going off. Immediately what I picture when I think of this line, on a balcony with champagne lips. It gives me big New York imagery, even though this is San Francisco. But like that big idea of like, you know, wearing like a beautiful ball gown or a suit or whatever and drinking champagne, and there's fireworks and you're a little bit tipsy on the champagne. You have this beautiful kiss. You know, it's such a romantic image. But they say not the way that you'd imagine it on a balcony with champagne lips, but in a pantry against the pancake mix, you had your New Year's kiss. And there's the tragedy of it. They pictured this beautiful time, this beautiful moment in time to start their new year off right, and they ended up just like boning someone in a pantry. It's sad, this song, but it is humorous in its own way, but it is a sad song. But I think it's such an interesting little vignette. I mean, it's very much just like a short poem. It's a vignette into someone's life of like, you can't always get what you want, and I enjoy that. Very short song, very few lyrics, but it's succinct, it's concise. I like how the music is mostly consistent across it. It's just kind of these weird synthy sounds and drums and a piano, and that's basically it. I like also how it kind of goes like at the start, like kind of it's a machine turning on, you know, which makes sense for the start of an album, and then just kind of ends on the doo, fades out. So yeah, I think it's a great intro to an album. I think it's a great start to our year. I just think it's a great song, and that's pretty much gonna be all I have to say about it. Thank you so much for listening. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think, tell other people about the show. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Break it down.